When you wake up in the quiet of the morning and realize that the house is still, not because the world is asleep, but because there's no one else left inside, that silence can speak louder than words. It's a silence that many of us grow to know with time. Children move out, loved ones pass on, friends drift, and suddenly, the moments that used to be shared over coffee, laughter, or even the smallest of chores are now yours alone. But let me tell you something, my dear friend. Being alone does not mean being lonely. That's not just a comforting thought. That's a way of living. And today, I want to sit with you and share a few gentle but powerful things you can do every single day to keep joy close and loneliness far. Because even if the room is quiet, your soul doesn't have to be. If this message finds a warm place in your heart, I ask you to do something simple and meaningful. Share this video with someone else who might need a voice like this in their day. It may be your sister, your old neighbor, or even a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. You never know how much a small act of kindness can brighten someone else's path. Now, stay with me for a while. Let's talk about how to fill your days with purpose, connection, and the kind of peace that only comes when we learn to live well with ourselves. It starts with something as small as what you do in the first hour of your day. You see, how we begin our mornings, it can change everything. You and I, we've lived long enough to know that the little things, they're not so little after all. They're everything. And if you're wondering, what can I do today to feel just a little more alive, a little more connected? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore together. So pour yourself a warm cup of tea. Sit where the light comes in, even if it's just a small corner near your window. Let's begin. The first thing I want you to do each day, before the news, before the phone calls that may or may not come, before you even reach for your slippers, is simple. I want you to speak kindly to yourself. Now, don't roll your eyes. I know how strange that might sound, but listen closely. In our younger years, we often sought kindness from others, our parents, our spouses, our children, even strangers. But in these later chapters, it's time to become the voice of comfort for ourselves. Start by saying good morning to you, out loud. Say, good morning. I'm still here. I'm grateful for today. And I mean it. Say it like you mean it. You'd be amazed how powerful those few words can feel when the house is still and the heart is a little heavy. You're not talking to the walls. You're talking to your soul, and your soul listens. You are not alone in this, even if you are living alone. And if hearing a voice each morning helps, play this video again. Let this be part of your morning ritual. Better yet, subscribe to the channel. Because here, you will always find a voice that speaks to your heart. Now, after you've greeted yourself, move your body. Gently, slowly, but with intention. You don't have to do jumping jacks or run around the block. Just stretch your arms up toward the ceiling. Wiggle your fingers. Stand if you can. If not, just roll your shoulders back and breathe. Each movement is a reminder. I am alive, and I'm choosing to live today with presence. You see, the body may slow down, but it still wants to feel. And when you move with care, you begin to honor that beautiful vessel that has carried you through decades of joy, sorrow, laughter, and change. Your body deserves to be thanked. So thank it with a walk in the garden or simply a walk around the kitchen table. And as you move, think of one thing you're looking forward to today. Not a big thing. Maybe it's finishing that puzzle. Maybe it's hearing the birds at 10 a.m. Maybe it's the way the sunlight dances through the window at just the right hour. These are the details that build a beautiful life when you pay attention. And paying attention, that is what keeps us alive inside. Let me ask you something now, and I want you to really think about this. When was the last time you smiled just because you were proud of yourself? Not because someone else said something kind, not because something big happened, but because you looked in the mirror and thought, I've made it this far. I've weathered storms others never saw. I've loved, I've lost, and I'm still standing. If you haven't smiled like that in a while, do it now. Just a small smile. No one's watching. Or maybe, just maybe, someone up above is. Either way, it's a smile worth giving. If you're still here, listening with me, that means you're the kind of person who wants to live well, even now, even after all these years. And that means you're not alone. I'm here with you. and so are many others. So don't forget to leave a comment below, just a hello, or where you're watching from. You'd be surprised how many kind souls might reply. This is more than a video. It's a gathering place, a porch swing for the soul. Now that we've greeted the day and reminded our hearts that we're still here, let's talk about connection. Loneliness, my friend, doesn't always come from being alone. It comes from feeling unseen, unheard. And the remedy for that isn't always about filling a room with people. It's about reaching out in small and steady ways so the world can reach back to you. One of the most powerful things you can do each day is simple: make contact with someone. One person. It could be a neighbor. It could be a grandchild. It could be the person who bags your groceries or the postman who waves from the sidewalk. You don't need a long conversation. You just need a moment. A moment where two souls acknowledge each other. Pick up the phone. Write a note. Send a little message. Even if it's just to say, I was thinking about you. If you don't hear back, that's all right. Because that moment of reaching out, that's what keeps you open. And staying open, that's how the heart stays young. And if you truly don't know who to reach out to today, let me offer something even gentler. Write a letter to someone who's already gone. Maybe a friend you miss, a partner, a sibling. Pour out what's in your heart. Keep it private, or read it out loud to the wind. That, too, is a kind of conversation. That, too, is connection. Every time you give a piece of your presence to someone else, whether they're near or far, you are lighting a small lantern in your spirit. And those little lanterns, they can outshine the darkest of nights. If this message resonates, I invite you once again to share this video. Share it with a friend who may need a gentle nudge today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to stay connected to a circle of voices just like yours. Voices that still believe in warmth, in meaning, in living life from the inside out. Now here's something else you can do, and it might surprise you. Practice kindness toward strangers. Yes, strangers. You see, at our age, we sometimes feel we've become invisible to the world. But the best way to feel seen is to help someone else feel that way first. Compliment someone's garden. Thank the store clerk with sincerity. Offer a smile to a young parent struggling with a child in public. These are small ripples, but they carry far. And each act tells your soul, I still matter. I still have something to give. You know, people think happiness comes from having big things, big homes, big plans, big adventures. But those of us who've lived long enough, we know the truth. Joy is in the smallness. It's in the folded laundry, the warm toast, the handwritten note, the slow walk, the way your favorite song still knows how to reach you, even if your knees don't quite dance like they used to. And I'll ask you now, quietly, what small act of connection will you choose today? Who will you bless with your presence, even if it's just yourself? If you've been listening, truly listening, then you already know you're not as alone as you feel. You are part of this moment, and this moment is yours to shape. Let's keep going, you and I. There's more to talk about, more to explore. Stay close. Let's talk now about something that is often overlooked but holds tremendous power: routine. Not the kind that burdens you, but the kind that comforts you. At our age, a good routine is not a prison. It's a path, a rhythm, a song your days can hum to, softly, so that your heart never loses its beat. When you build a gentle routine, you give your days structure. You give them meaning. You remind yourself that even though the world may have changed, you still have a say in how each hour unfolds. Start simple. Mornings for movement, afternoons for connection, evenings for reflection. And somewhere in the middle, create a space for creativity. Now I know some of you might say, I'm not the creative type, but I don't believe that. Not for a second. You have stories inside you. Hands that have mended, cooked, planted, soothed. You have memories worth painting, baking, writing down, humming into the air. Try something with your hands. It could be knitting. It could be sketching with colored pencils. Or journaling, writing down the moments that made you who you are. You might even start writing little notes for your grandchildren, or for the children in the world who may never know the things you've lived through. That is legacy work. That is purpose. And if you think no one would care to read or hear what you have to say, let me tell you, someone will. Someone needs the wisdom that you carry. That's why this space, this video exists. To remind you that you are still full of offering. Pause for a moment now. Think about one thing you used to enjoy doing but stopped. What was it? Singing in the kitchen? Whittling? Pressing flowers in an old book? Why did you stop? And what would it feel like to return to it? Not because you need to be good at it, but because it made you feel alive. That feeling is still waiting for you, and you can start again today. If you're enjoying this message so far, take a moment to tap the like button, not just for the video, but to say yes to this journey of renewal. And if you have your own routine or creative practice that brings you joy, share it in the comments below. Let's inspire each other. Because the truth is, even though we live apart, we are walking side by side. Now let's talk a little bit about how you end your day. The closing chapter of each evening should not be rushed. It should be cherished. Light a candle. Play soft music. Wrap yourself in your favorite blanket. Not because it's cold, but because comfort is sacred. Say a prayer if that's your way. Or simply whisper a thank you for having made it through the day. A peaceful evening tells your soul, you've done enough today. Rest now. And rest, my friend, is a blessing many forget to honor. In this stage of life, we are given a gift that few appreciate. The quiet to reflect, to remember, to rebuild from within. Embrace that quiet. It is not empty. It is full of you. And if the silence ever grows too thick, too heavy, come back here. Let this voice remind you that you are still walking this earth with purpose, grace, and more love to give than you may realize. We're not finished yet. There's still one more thing I want to share. Stay with me. Now I want to share something very close to my heart. Your relationship with yourself. Yes, I said it. Not your children. Not your neighbors. Not your old friends from church or bingo night. You. Because at this age, it's easy to feel like your worth is tied to who you were for others. The caregiver. The breadwinner. The hostess. The grandma. The one who always made the phone calls, baked the cakes, sent the cards. But let me ask you, who are you for you? Each day, I want you to spend at least 10 quiet minutes simply being with yourself. Not watching the news. Not scrolling. Not planning dinner. Just being. Sit by a window. Feel the breeze on your skin. Let the sun rest on your cheeks. Put one hand on your chest and notice your breath. That's your life. Still here, still yours. Say to yourself, I am enough, just as I am. I am worthy of love, even from myself. If tears come, let them. They're not weakness. They are water for the garden of your spirit. They soften the hard places inside and make room for growth. And here's a simple little practice to carry with you. Keep a gratitude jar. Each evening, write down one thing you're thankful for. It could be the way your tea tasted this morning, the call you got from your cousin, the way your pet followed you around the house. Even on the hardest days, there is always something. And on the lonelier evenings, when your chest feels tight and the silence presses a bit too heavy, reach into that jar. Pull out one of those little notes. Read your own words back to yourself. Remind yourself that joy has visited your life, and it will again. We've been taught so long to give to others. Many of us have forgotten how to give to ourselves. But now, in these years of greater stillness, you have the space to come home to your own heart, to treat yourself the way you once treated others, with kindness, with patience, with a listening ear. And if you're thinking, well, it's too late for me to start something new, I want to smile gently and tell you this. Nonsense. You are not too old. You are not too slow. You are not too anything. You are precisely where you need to be to begin again. There is a tree outside my window. She's been there since I was a young man. And every year, without fail, she blooms. Not because someone tells her to. Not because she hopes someone is watching. But because that's what she's made to do. So, my dear friend, bloom. And while you're blooming, stay connected here. Subscribe to this channel. Leave your voice in the comments. Let others know what keeps your spirit strong. You never know who will read your words and feel a little less alone. One last thing before we move to our closing together. Forgive yourself. For the mistakes. For the times you were too tired. For the things you wish you'd said or done. You did your best. You are still doing your best, and that is always enough. You've come so far. Don't let the past steal the beauty of today. Let's wrap this up gently. We're almost there. I've got one more message to leave with you, so stay a little longer. So here we are, you and I, at the quiet close of this little conversation. If you've stayed with me until now, I want you to know this. That in itself is a kind of courage, a quiet bravery, to sit with your own heart, to listen, to reflect, to be reminded that your life is not behind you. It is still unfolding, gently, beautifully, moment by moment. And perhaps, after everything we've shared, you see things a little differently now. That loneliness, while real, does not have to rule your days. That happiness isn't something that finds you by accident. It's something you welcome in, like an old friend knocking softly at the door. You welcome it by speaking kindly to yourself in the morning, by reaching out to another soul, even just once a day, by crafting a rhythm, a gentle routine that gives your day shape and soul, by creating, by remembering, by sitting with yourself and simply saying, I am still here, and I still matter. That, my dear friend, is the secret. It's not in grand gestures or crowded rooms. It's in the small rituals that honor your being. The way you water a plant, the way you hum a song from your youth, the way you keep showing up for your own life, even when no one else is watching. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. You are never truly alone. You are part of something, right here, right now. And you are deeply, unshakably worthy of joy. So promise me something. When you wake up tomorrow, before the worries, before the memories crowd in, pause. Place your hand on your chest. Feel that heartbeat. That rhythm is your proof. Life is still with you. Love is still within reach. And if this message spoke to your heart, don't let it stop here. Pass it on. Share this video with someone who might be sitting quietly, just like you were, waiting for a word of comfort. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Not just to this channel, but to a new way of living. A gentler one, a wiser one. And I would love, truly love, to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Tell me what part of your day brings you peace, or what little habit helps you feel less alone. Because your story, your voice, your light, it matters here. And if no one has told you this today, let me be the first. You are loved. You are seen. You are enough. Now rest easy. You've done well today. And tomorrow, when the sun peeks through the curtain, remember, you have one more beautiful day to live and one more chance to begin again. I'll be right here, waiting to walk beside you. Until next time.